Hello, my name is Ali Carter. I am the founder of Mediate UK, and one of the questions I'm going to be talking to you about today is a 70-30% split in your assets fair on a divorce or possibly even a separation? Well, let's have a look at it. So where did 70-30 come from? It's a question that's often asked. It might have been thrown around by a solicitor. It might be something that someone has recommended to you because that's what happened in their scenario, or that just what they've heard, that's what's happened. So some of the things we hear is the wife would always get 70%, or if you have children, you get 70% of your assets. Is that correct? Absolutely not. If you take one thing from this video, there is no set percentage on a divorce. Not 50-50, not 60-40, and not 70-30. What is fixed on a divorce is that you fall under family law. That's the law that governs how you decide how your assets are going to be separated. The law is all about future need. There's some factors called sections 25 factors. If you just Google them on our website, you can find a blog all about them, which goes into more detail. But the basic overriding thing is need. If you have children, your needs are considered higher. The children have to be prioritised under family law. So they need to be housed, they need to be clothed, fed, heated, and everything else that children need. So that's what you decide when you are looking at how to divide up your assets. The outcome, 70-30, 60-40, 50-50, or any combination of percentage, is the end result of a process of deciding and agreeing what your needs are. You don't start with that end process. You don't start with, I'll take 70%. Because how do you know that's going to meet your need? It might need to be 72%. You don't start with, it's 50-50 or nothing, because how do you know 50-50 is going to meet your needs? It might well do, and that certainly is it's called the yardstick of equality. That certainly is the starting point in a long marriage, that you starting point is 50-50, and if you divert from that, you need to explain to the court why. But if you don't divert from that when you should be, the court aren't going to agree to your financial consent order. So what do you need to do? The first step you need to do is answer the question, how are we going to house and run two households, whereas beforehand we were only having to run the one? You both need to be housed. Now, that could take whatever steps. You could agree to selling the house and buying two new ones. You could keep the house and one of you goes into rented. You could keep the house now and agree to sell it when the children are older. There's loads of options. Search 10 options for a property on the Mediate UK website. There's a whole blog that takes you through each 10 options. But that needs to be the first thing. If the children are spending 90% of the time with one parent, 10% of the time with the other parent, and you can't afford to run two households, then the priority would be the parent with whom they're spending 90% of the time, because the children have to be prioritised. If you've got two children aged 13 and 15, a boy and a girl, you need to have a 3-bedroom property. You need to try to achieve that for them, because they can't share a room at those ages. So those are the sorts of things you need to consider. If after that you have assets left over, then the starting point is a 50-50, but it may change dependent on need. What factors come into this? It would be things such as, earning, how much you earn, how much you could earn, earning capacity, mortgage capacity is a big one, and really, just looking at your realistic needs moving forwards. Loads of things come into play with regards to the length of a marriage, the length of a relationship before you got married comes into it. All of these things come into play, but the first thing I recommend you do is try to house both yourself and your ex-partner. Work out what's happening with the children. If there's any assets left over, start at a 50-50, but make sure it's fair, and then you can start to move on. You've got 11 ways to resolve an agreement. Mediation is one of those ways. Search on our website the 11 ways to reach an agreement, and it will take you through all of the 11 options that you've got there. So once you've done that, it might come out that it's 70-30, it might come out that it's 60-40 or anything else. But you've been through a process that's fair, and that will then give you the answer on what the percentage split should be. So I'm really hoping that makes sense. I'm hoping that that helps you when you're trying to work out what a court will consider, what you may be entitled to. But please don't go straight to the end and say, I want 70-30 of everything. There needs to be a reason behind that. Many thanks for listening.